Hello and welcome to Some of My Friends Read Comics. We've got Vince.
One day men will look back and say that I gave birth to the 20th century.
That's too long. We got Chris.
Master of the Future.
We've got me. None of those things sounded anything like Batman, by the way. That's okay. I guess they sounded more like Jack the Ripper. We're kind of reading a Jack the Ripper thing. Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to the show.
Jack's back, man.
Jack's back.
We're reading the comic adaptation of Jack's Back, starring James Spader.
No, we're not. We are reading Batman Gotham by Gaslight because, hey, wouldn't it be cool to hear about Batman fighting Jack the Ripper if he came to Gotham? And also if it's the late 1800s, but really that doesn't matter at all in this story.
That's what's funny is like basically these Elseworlds stories then just decide, it's just Batman. Bruce Wayne looks the same. He wears suits. Catwoman's in the movie, not in this one, but
like no, yeah, I was like, why does this exist? There's nothing different about it except that Jack the Ripper happens to be there, and even then, it's not Jack the Ripper; it's just their own version. So
I mean, there's a perfect Frank Miller character for Catwoman to play in this Jack the Ripper version, and that she could be some prostitute.
I know she's because I was interested in doing this one because there's a movie that just came out like maybe about a month ago. We may spoil it at the very end, but only at the very end. But she's on the cover of the movie, and so I'm like, okay, cool. There's a prostitute. Yeah, on the cover of the movie. She's not in the book.
Not even in. No.
But I see a prostitute, and I see like lingering like narration over her, and I'm like, that's Catwoman. Duh. Okay. Gabby. And then 48 pages later, I'm like, wait, there was no Catwoman in this story.
Okay. We got to lay the groundwork of like what the heck this thing is. So this is from 1989, right? Late 80s sometime.
Yeah.
Written by Brian Augustine and art by Mike Mignola of Hellboy fame. Mikey Miggs, yeah. Before he left the big two to just kind of do his own thing. And yeah, it's sort of like Bruce Wayne starting out in England, studying with Freud. He's been studying with some of the detectives, doing his whole, like Batman thing. Like, oh, I'm alone before I come back to Gotham, before I become Batman. His kind of origin story thing.
Yeah, and it actually does a really cool origin story, though, for this. I liked it, yeah. This origin is the classic origin of Batman. It's, although done like horse-drawn carriage, like on a lonely street, and they get shot. Mm-hmm. And the bad guy's about to kill Bruce Wayne also, but then a bunch of bats swoop in and scare the bad guy, and then Bruce Wayne escapes, which is actually a way cooler idea for Batman's origin.
Yep, just straight bats up. Always fly directly towards loud noises.
I guess that's true. But I do like that like the bats are like intrinsic to his origin in that way.
Yeah, it makes more sense. It is like a just cooler thematic thing to have them be like part of what really was that moment that made him, instead of something he decided on later, like, hey, I think bats are scary, I'm gonna be that.
What if, and look, this is $1 million idea, please do not steal. What if Batman and his family were in Zilker Park, Austin, and they're just out for a nice evening when a mugger goes to murder them when bats attack?
Oh, from the bat bridge. I finally saw those guys for the first time like a couple months ago. It was really cool. It looked like smokestacks coming out on a bridge, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? It was bats.
There's all those bats that like actually live there. I forgot about them. It's been so long since I've been in Texas. I forgot about the bats of Texas. But why hasn't there been? I'm sure there's been like a cowboy version of Batman. There's like every version of Elseworlds.
I feel like Grant Morrison definitely covered. There was a cowboy Batman in the Return of Bruce Wayne, right? I know there was a pirate Batman.
That sounds good.
Seriously, $1 million idea, do not steal. Batman with a 10-gallon hat.
Yeah. Woo! And like a bat signal on it. Shit, man.
I want that to be the title, too. Batman with a 10-gallon hat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
can we call it the 10-gallon bat?
Ooh.
He can team up with Jonah Hex. It can be a whole thing.
There was an issue of, an episode of Batman the Animated Series I was rewatching recently where it's really just Ra's al Ghul, but all in like the past and how Jonah Hex defeated him once. I like that episode a lot.
Super
Batman
cool.
Was barely in. Yeah. Were you gonna ask me something, Vince?
Yeah. Did we explain what Elseworlds was?
No.
I think this might have been the first Elseworlds book.
No, we did read. Oh, you mean this one first ever?
Maybe. I think I read that. Maybe I'm wrong.
That'd be worth checking out, double checking. But yeah, Elseworlds is sort of like DC's line of, hey, we're going to tell stories about our people, but set in alternate universes, which doesn't necessarily need a name, but I'm glad they did. It's just like, okay, this exists in some other universe. Pretty cool. And Elseworlds.
Yeah, instead of the old DC philosophy, which was to just say an imaginary story, where they would just have it would basically be an issue of what if in the middle of Superman or whatever, where it's like, what if he turned into a genie? This is a what if, but it's what if Batman, but in the 1890s.
Yeah. Or really just what if Batman, but regular. I don't know. That's what
he's in a different day, Takia.
I see. You're right. He wears different types of suits. That's right.
But it definitely feels like a special Batman story. It's 48 pages. It is the first Elseworlds story. I just confirmed. But it feels like Mignola's art is kind of a cross between Batman Year One and Tim Sale's Long Halloween. Like it's feeling in that same kind of era, which is also confusing because then it just feels like an 80s Batman book.
Yeah, I was I like the art enough. It's pretty nice, and I guess I like the story enough. There's like the twist in the middle where Bruce Wayne is back, and all the cops think he did it because somebody planted the knife in
because
his home.
There's not much to this story, so that's what we're
There's really not. But I was really disappointed because I think I'm going to just spoil who Jack the Ripper is in this story. I know we had kind of joked on the last episode.
It's a Scooby-Doo mystery. It's the only other character in the book.
Pretty much, yeah. Especially because at the very beginning, he's coming back from England, and his uncle is also coming back home, who he happens to run into. And I'm like, okay, so the only character who we see come from England to America, the only two are Bruce Wayne and his uncle. So, okay.
Jacob Packer. Uncle Jake. Yeah. That's Uncle how he's introduced.
Yeah.
Jacob. Just to make it clear, this guy's name, Jacjak.
Yep. And on the first page he's introduced, he squint smiles at Bruce. And it's okay, he's Jack the Ripper. Look at him.
Yeah. They do also, on that same page, he does lay the groundwork for a potential red herring where he said, that's some prince who's also, coming to Gotham, and they're escaping a scandal with something about women. Ooh, and that's his bodyguard with him. That's a big guy. And we never hear from these people again. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a red herring that you just kind of decided to abandon. All right, cool.
Yeah, because Uncle Jake, first scene, he's looking at the girls on the boat,
mm-hmm.
and he's like, "I'd like to sink my teeth into those ladies." I'm like, "Jack the Ripper, done. Let's
I thought maybe he would be a red herring as well, but no, he was the surprise reveal villain, I guess. I was a little disappointed by that, but I do like the way the story played itself out. Batman
beats up bad guys until everybody's like, "Hey, Bruce Wayne can never be accounted for at night." And he just came from London. And now suddenly all these very similar murders are happening here in Gotham. Maybe.
Makes sense.
Just going to throw it out there. Maybe he's Jack the Ripper.
Yeah. Honestly, I think in this book, Commissioner Gordon is kind of an idiot for still trusting Bruce Wayne after he's locked up. It's nah, dude, Bruce Wayne totally did it. All this evidence pointed at it. Y'all found the bloody knife in his home. It was Bruce Wayne.
Yep. I like that Mike Mignola photo references Teddy Roosevelt.
Does he? I thought that guy looked familiar.
That's an odd pull. But yeah, Commissioner Gordon in a few frames is these are just pictures of Teddy Roosevelt.
There is a little nod to the Joker as well. It's some guy who drank some of his own strychnine, and it froze his face into a giant smile, and so it was the Joker. I thought that was a nice touch. I would have liked to see more of that.
Yeah, but
it's weird that he marries widows. That's a real Blackbeard move more than a Joker plot.
Mm-hmm. But hey, it's the 1800s. What else is there for him to do?
The Joker the Ripper did not show up. I was wrong.
There's
still a chance for him to show up in the movie, though. Stay tuned for spoilers.
Probably in that canceled THQ game that they were going to make about this.
Oh, shit. They were going to do that, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I still think an Arkham game in that style might be fun.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun, but maybe just like a level or two.
Yeah. Ooh, like Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, but with Batman, different eras. Ooh.
Now you're talking.
$500,000. That's a $500,000 idea.
Yeah. I was gonna say now you include a level with Cowboy Batman.
Yeah.
10-gallon bat.
To the 10-gallon bat. That sounds good, partner. So. Where are we? What's going on in this story? So, Batman is under arrest. He's locked up in the cells. And while everyone's out, I don't know, doing their thing, I don't know how Alfred is able to come down and let him out so easily. But he comes down there, lets Bruce Wayne out so that he can go be Batman, catch the killer. He gets the clue from, like, this logo on the knife, right? Yeah. That used to belong to his dad, and is like, oh, but my dad's been dead. All these people are dead, except that one guy, my uncle. It was my uncle. He did it the whole time, and he freed me.
Yeah. We skipped over the trial, too, where Uncle Jake defends him from Harvey Dent.
Yeah, Harvey Dent is there.
Who does not have any lines, but we do just see narration that's like, I thought Harvey was my friend. He's being very rude.
Yeah, prosecuting me for murder and all. What a guy.
Yeah, how two-faced of him to pretend to be my friend and then prosecute me for murder.
Man, this whole thing felt like a tease. It's like, okay, we're going to see a Victorian origin of Two-Face. I just wanted to see more old-timey origins of people. I think that's fun for me.
Yeah.
I really enjoy... Go ahead.
That's the real disappointing part of this Elseworlds book is there's not those like winks and nods like I'm so used to. And I guess this is the first one, but I'm thinking 1602 is like my closest model for this.
That's exactly what I was going to mention. Yeah, I'm kind of spoiled by that book because
it's
like
has so much in it. Peter Parker is like a little like jewel thief and they called and the Fantastic Four are some shipfarers and you're like the whole time you're like where's Steve Rogers? Why is he not in this through 6 issues?
Oh boy,
and then he shows up. And so that's what I'm expecting from this movie, or that's what I'm expecting from this comic book. But then, and that's what does happen in the movie, but it doesn't happen in this. I was expecting like, well, maybe Harvey Dent is actually like going to be our villain because I'm thinking like Long Halloween, like that's what's going to happen here, and it doesn't, and it's really weird.
Yeah. Chris, you had something you wanted to say about Harvey Dent?
Yeah, I was just saying maybe half his face could have been burned by ambergris or some other 19th century thing that we don't know what is anymore.
Yeah, or just like even something like, I don't know, gunpowder. I feel like gunpowder is old-timey enough.
Oh, dynamite. Dynamite.
Oh, that would have been great. Although now I think we're getting back into the 10-gallon bat here. So we've been talking a lot about the movie. I feel like I don't really have much else to say about the comic. Like, it's fine, a little disappointing, whatever.
Why did we didn't say why Uncle Jake did it.
Oh, yeah, because I guess he wasn't his real uncle. He was just like a friend of Thomas Wayne. Yeah, who like takes him in. What?
The whole guy was like a fuck up, and it's like, rich people nepotism. Like, so Thomas Wayne felt bad for his friend who failed out of medical school, so he paid for him to go through law school, and then he gave him a job as the family lawyer. And I think he even says, like, I even sucked as a lawyer, but he gave me a law office where I was the boss. And I'm like, some bullshit, rich people. Like, Thomas Wayne, maybe you did deserve to die.
But also, like, if anyone deserved to kill you, not this guy. Like, this guy owes everything to you.
And then he's like, I just wanted something of my own, and that was Thomas Wayne's wife, and she wouldn't date me, even though I suck, and I didn't, like, I was such a nice guy, even though I did, like, nothing. And then, like, she laughed at me when I tried to, like, ask her out. And then, like, Thomas Wayne was cool and, like, didn't say anything, but I knew he was laughing at me. So, like, I hired people to, like, murder him. And then I went over to Paris and I murdered more people. And then I killed some more prostitutes in London. And then I came over here and killed some more people, but feel sorry for me. And Batman's like,
Go ahead.
It's definitely, I mean, it comes out in the wake of Batman 89, which has that incredibly stupid, like, oh, I made you, but you made me thing, where it's like, oh no, the guy I'm trying to catch is the guy who killed my parents, where he's like, I even killed it. I even hired a hitman to kill your parents. Like, why?
Yeah, like it's all kind of like whatever. In this new world of Killmongers, we don't have room for villains like this anymore.
Oh, did you see Black Panther?
Finally, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, nice.
Finally had the time to see it. It was great. Can't wait to see it again. But speaking of the movies, we've been touching a lot about the movie version, which I did not watch. Chris, you didn't watch it either, right?
No, I just had it spoiled for me on the internet.
All right, Vince, break it to us gently. What happened?
Let's do it. Okay, so one, it doesn't follow the plot of this book at all. There's no Uncle Jake. First up.
What?
Yeah, first up,
all
no
right.
Uncle Jake. Two,
kind of a big hint that they're going to change the ending, isn't it? When they don't introduce this character.
Yeah. Two, no parts in London. It's just Batman rolling up in Gotham.
Okay, I guess that's all right.
The first prostitute killed is Poison Ivy. I'm on board.
Oh wow!
I'm like, yes, this sounds great. Catwoman runs like kind of a brothel. There's 3 Robins who are they're named like Dick, Jason, and Timmy, and they just like rob people. And then Alfred kind of like hires them to like do odd jobs. I'm like, this is the Elseworlds shit I wanted.
Cool. Yeah,
it's cool.
I like that.
The animation kind of sucks. It feels like it's missing frames and it's kind of slow. Bruce Greenwood, who played Batman in Young Justice, plays Batman here, so it feels
I'm okay with that.
Just like Batman. It doesn't feel like 1890s Batman. Catwoman is cool. She's a lion tamer for the circus, and that's why she has a whip and she can command the cats. And I'm like, this is cool. But then it kind of goes off the rails because Jack the Ripper stops murdering prostitutes and just murders Hugo Strange and a nun. And I'm like, this is not Jack the Ripper's MO.
All right.
They do send Bruce Wayne to prison. So that part does happen. And Catwoman's like, just tell him you're Batman. Like, Batman has alibis. And he's like, I'll never reveal that I'm Batman. Hey, everyone. So we had some Skype troubles this evening. We were getting some like kind of auto-tune sounds, some robot sounds. I think it may be my microphone or maybe my Skype connection was just having some issues. So we're going to wrap this episode up now. I know we had promised we would talk a little bit more about the movie and we'd talk a little bit about the sequel, Batman Masters of the Future. So just to conclude our discussion about the movie, it has a lot more of that Elseworlds thing that you would like, or you would expect at least, like a lot of nods to the series or other series. Batman Mythos, Harvey Dent shows up, Hugo Strange shows up, Jim Gordon plays a bigger role. But it's not great. It's okay. The animation's a little weak, as I said in the episode before. If you want the spoiler of it, the spoiler is that Jim Gordon was actually Jack the Ripper. Jim Gordon just hated criminals so much that he was willing to murder them and take the law into his own hands. Doesn't really fit with Jack the Ripper, though, because he's murdering people that aren't prostitutes. He's just murdering people in general, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. The twist is just kind of like, okay. Other than that, some of the action sequences are good. It is rated R, so the little ones may not like it, or you may not like it for the little ones. But it's only has shit. It never drops fuck or F-bombs or anything like that. It doesn't have any nudity. It doesn't really even have much blood. So I don't really know why it got an R rating. It'd be a soft PG-13 in any other, if it was live action. If you want to look for some different DC animated films, you might want to check out, I've heard good things, but haven't seen it myself, Batman Under the Red Hood, about Jason Todd. Bruce Greenwood from this movie also voices Batman in that one. I hear that one's good. I like my Batman animated films a little more fun. I liked the 60s Batman versus Two-Face from last year, the last Adam West movie, and William Shatner plays Two-Face. That one's a lot of fun. A lot of camp from the 60s, but then turns into a pretty good episode of Batman the Animated Series. Also, I just watched Batman Brave and the Bold meets Scooby-Doo, and that one was pseudofiably silly. It's got Detective Chimp and Martian Manhunter, and Aquaman keeps wanting to be a detective. It's silly, it's dumb, it's fun. So that concludes our talk about the movie. If the other thing we wanted to talk about was the sequel, Batman Master of the Future. It takes place, I think, maybe a year after this episode in particular. And it's It's okay. They're having the World's Fair in Gotham, and a rich guy who kind of has kind of like a Lex Luthor analog threatens to kill people if they don't cancel the World's Fair. They don't cancel the World's Fair. He tries to bomb them. It's an insurance scam. It is what it is. It's okay. I'm sorry if you read it and we didn't get much chance to talk about it. It's fine, but who cares? Mike Mignola did not do the art for it. Somebody else did, but Brian Augustine did write it. So for next time, what we're going to be covering is some more 80s comics. We're going to be going back to 1980, November 1980 for Doug Minch and Bill Sienkiewicz's Moon Knight, issues 1 through 6. It's all on Marvel Unlimited. You can check it out right now. Issues 1 through 6. They look like they're all done in ones. We haven't read much Bill Sienkiewicz. We have read Doug Minch. He did the Godzilla book that I really liked from episode 3 of our series. I would check that out highly because I love me some silly comics. This one is, I believe, it's kind of a Batman analog in the Marvel Universe. Mark Spector is the name of Moon Knight. It should be fine. We'll check it out, and then we'll be right back on our way to some more Batman books because we're only a month away from our 3rd anniversary with Batman Year 3. But that's another story for another time and 2 episodes from now. So until next time, thank you so much. I again apologize for the Skype issues, the short episode, but we love you so much. Thank you, Kia. Thank you, Chris. I was Vince, and we really appreciate it. Have a great night.